How we doing? They overestimated my height, apparently. Put this where I can see it. All right, this is my kind of crowd right here. I like it. There'll be no eggshells being walked on tonight. We're just going to ride with it. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Punishers, the lady Guardian Bells, sorry. Guardian Bells, Mike, Danny, everybody. I know this is hard to do and it was a lot to get together, but y'all did a great job. This was supposed to be in the courthouse. I don't know what happened, but we're not in the courthouse, which is probably better. I think I would have been a little paranoid in the courthouse, just waiting on Phillip Street to bust through the fucking door like an episode of Scooby-Doo. I knew it was you kids. Now, I haven't been doing comedy long. This is my midlife crisis. Decided to start comedy at 45. I should have just fucking bought a motorcycle like y'all did. But I decided to go with this route. Not the best decision I've ever made. But yeah, I ain't been doing it long. I'm getting better with the timing, the delivery. It's the whole being funny part I seem to struggle with. No, I'm just kidding. I'm funny. People like me. That's what I told myself in the mirror over and over again before I come out here. But yeah, it was good of the Punishers to get this thing together and use the bleeding hearts of these kids as a reason to get fucked up with their buddies. It's real noble. And I see some of you probably showed up without your old ladies because you haven't learned yet. Let me go ahead and tell you how that story ends. Spoiler alert. Some of these guys have been through it. You're leaving the house, right? Honey, I'm going to that benefit thing for the kids. I'll be back later. Is that right? Like the toy run you went on last summer? Was that for the kids? Was that for the kids, Terry? Was it the kids that had you coming back smelling like that whore, Cheryl? Was that the kids? And was it the kids that had it burning when I peed for 2 weeks after that? No, Terry. Fuck you, fuck Cheryl, and fuck them kids. I'll be ready in 20 minutes. And that's how that works. Something different about when, your woman's coming at you when she's got that southern accent attached to it. Some of y'all don't even know how country you sound. Like, I've always known, I had an accent, but I never knew how bad it was until I heard myself on an answering machine. That's why I think we need to bring answering machines back so we can get a dose of reality for some of you country son bitches. Because I didn't know I sounded like a bowl of pinto beans until that moment. Like I'm getting interviewed right after a tornado. Yeah, me and Brittany Ray was just sitting on the couch watching Justified reruns when the wind picked up. 1 minute I'm watching Raylan about to blow Boyd's head off. The next moment I'm laying in a field next to my water heater. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, some of y'all sound way more country than me. You know who you are. We're related. Yeah. Being related can be hard. It can be entertaining in my experience. Like with my dad, I like to play a game. It's called Racist or Retarded. Right? Because I know in my heart, Jeffrey Byers is not racist. Never heard him say the N-word. But he'll say things sometimes in public that'll make you kind of, just cringe just a little bit, you turn your head. I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was talking to my mama, but it was on speakerphone, so I was talking to mom and dad. And so I'd seen something on the news, and they had said something about Russia being an Asian country, and I did not know that. I might be just stupid, but I've always thought as Russians as white Europeans, you know, like us, just talk different. But apparently they're an Asian country. And before my mom could even answer, my dad from the background said, well, hell yeah. All them Russians are is white Chinese people. Yeah, he said that. The bad part is I work for weeks, go to open mics and curate these jokes, but I doubt anything I'm going to say tonight's going to be as funny as Jeffrey Byers saying Russians are just white Chinese people. Never heard it put like that before. Yeah, things seem to happen in waves. Any of you got some liberal friends? No. Trust me, you do. You just might not know it. If you do, you need to reach out to them. Because they need you more now than ever. Because booster shots don't pay the fucking bills, kids. I'll tell you that right now. And Indeed.com is not looking for people with blue hair and majored in gender studies. So they need to change something. But yeah, it just seems like the older I get, the more I just can't deal with shit. Like while I'm on my soapbox, let me say this. Quit asking me to tip you for doing your fucking job. And I'm not talking about waitresses or whores. They deserve every fucking tip they get. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the motherfuckers at the drive-thrus and Subways and places like that. You know, I'm at Subway a few weeks ago. I'm going through the line, and I get up there, and I see it coming. You've all seen it coming. You get up to pay, and she's holding her little fucky, can I get a tip machine? And I'm like, are we going to split it? Because we both made this fucking sandwich. First, you're charging me $20 for what used to be a $5 footlong. Now you're wanting gas money? Get fucked. You know? You're drinking a beer here. Oh, yeah. I don't think we got many, but do we have any younger people in the crowd other than the 8-year-old back there on the switch? Got a few, okay, claiming it anyways. I got you. To any younger people there might be, stay young. That's the best advice I can give you. You don't want to get old. I mean, what do you know about compound interest and property tax? Exactly. You don't want these fucking problems. Just stay in mama's basement, on your PlayStation, speaking in a language none of us can fucking understand. I heard two kids the other day, and this was the conversation. Did you peep my drip? Yeah, I peeped it. It was mid at best. On God? No cap. You just gassing me up because your shit is dog water. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Was that fucking pig Latin mixed with Down syndrome? Because I didn't understand a fucking word of it. And don't even get me started on the 6'7" shit. We'll just leave that off. But yeah, the point is, don't get old. Stay young. Because right now, your life's like a Disney movie. You know, the world's your oyster. Meanwhile, I'm living in a house that's being destroyed by woodpeckers and roof rats. Yeah, roof rats, that's a thing. I didn't know either. And apparently, insulation And rat poison is like a Viagra cocktail to these motherfuckers because they're fucking a lot. So I'm dealing with these chainsaw birds protected by the government and these rats that fuck each other like the Lannisters while my split-level empire just fucking crumbles beneath me. So stay young. Stay in mama's basement speaking in that language because you don't want these problems. Yeah. We're making it, right? We're getting through it. Yeah. All right. You know, they say the older you get, the wiser you get. I don't know if I agree with that. Because I find myself feeling really fucking stupid a lot. And I feel like it's a lot more than I used to. Like with spelling. Like, it's bad. Like if somebody was to come up in here with a gun and put it to my head and say, I'm going to kill everybody in here if you don't spell restaurant right now. Or dinosaur or Colorado, pick a fucking word, right? We some dead motherfuckers, y'all. That's just all there is to it. And necessary, that word's bullshit. I misspelled that word so bad when I was writing this joke that Microsoft Word didn't even put the blue squiggly line under it. Just a question mark. When you click on it, it's like a short bus pops up. I'm like, fucking Microsoft. Oh, shit. Yeah. I hate it that I don't want to accept that I'm getting old and that I'm turning into my dad. But I am, and I see it. Like I'll see a kid fucking weed eating in flip-flops and I just want to fucking choke him. You know, just the shit that shouldn't even matter. But then I find myself just not caring. Like I've always been like that a little bit. And it's really exaggerated when I'm with my wife because as much as I don't care about shit, she cares about every fucking thing. I mean shit that does not matter at all. Like I remember it was last year sometime, she came home and she said, have you heard about these kids identifying as cats? I just laughed. I was like, no. Are you serious? And she was like, yes, honey. It's not funny. There's kids identifying as cats. I said, at Hannah's school? Because she goes to a Christian school and everybody knows God hates cats. And she was like, keep it up. But it ain't fun. It just because she is not being around it right now doesn't mean it won't happen. I said, I'll tell you what. If she starts shitting in the sandbox out back or being oddly afraid of cucumbers, then I'll fucking worry. But until then, let the fucking idiots be cats if that's what they want to do. It's a victimless crime. Like smoking weed or going to a glory hole. Nobody's getting hurt. Fuck them. Yeah, my wife does not have, and I got a feeling I've got a lot in common with a lot of you guys. My wife does not have the same sense of humor as me. She just doesn't. And I try, but it's just not there. Like the other day, we're watching TV, flipping through channels, and I see wrestling's on. So I stop for a second, I'm looking, and there's this girl wrestler, she's wrestling, and her name is Lana Ray, spelled R-A-E. And I just start kind of giggling like a fucking little girl, and my wife's like, what is it? What's so funny? And I like, you would think it's stupid. What? Just tell me. I think you're funny sometimes. Yeah, you think this crowd's tough? Fucking come to my house with a wife and teenage daughter. And I was like, okay, but I'm telling you, you're not going to think it's funny. And she was like, well, I might. I was like, okay, well, girl's name spelled backwards is ear anal. And I just start fucking dying, right? And I'm laughing my ass off, and I just kind of look over at her, and not only is she not smiling, she's just looking at me with a look that says, I have so many regrets. But I'm in too deep now. We've got a kid, so now I've got to live my life with a guy that thinks ear anal is actually funny. Yeah. It's like that a lot in my house. My wife's different, but she knows what she married. There's one thing I hadn't done a lot is changed as far as the way I act. You know, I don't, cuss or act totally retarded, around my wife and kid, but I'm still the same dude sense of humor-wise. But my wife's different. She does things that I'll never understand. Like the other night, she woke me up in the middle of the night, and she goes, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? I said, I'd go back in fucking time to when I was asleep is where I'd fucking go. How many guys do you know that would wake their wife up in the middle of the night to say some shit like that? Yeah, 0. That's how many. But they're different. Men and women are different. As much as the world tries to tell you different. I mean, that's just the way it is. A lot of my comedy is, random thoughts. Like I had a random thought the other day, and I was like, you know who I feel sorry for? Is Kanye's cousin. And I can tell some of you may not know what I'm talking about. But let me catch you up. Kanye released a song a few months ago admitting to going down on his cousin, his male cousin. And it got traction. It got big. A lot of people listened to that song. And I was just thinking to myself, this poor bastard is just driving down the road, right? With his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And that song comes on. And he's just like, fuck me. Because he'd been bragging his whole life about how close him and Kanye were growing up. Like to where these friends were sick of it. We get it. You and Kanye were cousins. And you were close. So now he's driving, looking over at his girlfriend, like, how do I explain this? And if he's got friends like mine, he's looking at his phone and it's just fucking blowing up with eggplant swastika emojis, and he's just like, fuck it. Throws his phone out the window and drives off a goddamn bridge. Fuck this shit. But yeah, random thoughts, they make me laugh. Like I have them all the time. You ever just be sitting at work and just have a random thought like, wonder if Leonard Skinner and Tupac are talking in heaven right now, just shit that makes no sense. That's the kind of shit that goes through my head. I was also thinking, like, you remember when COVID hit? Yeah. And by the way, I came this close to wearing my COVID mask when I come up here just to set the fucking tone. Just to watch Danny's face as all his buddies looked over at him like, I thought you said he was one of us. Just rip his cut off, fucking excommunicate him right there on the spot. But I didn't. But yeah, random thoughts. I was thinking about when COVID hit, and we all thought it, or for a minute, everybody thought, it's the end of the world. World's on fire, right? And there had to be some guys out there that was like, you know what? I love her. The world's about to end. I might as well get married. I am sick and fucking tired of getting blowjobs and finishing my own sentences anyway. I might as well tie the fucking knot, right? You know? Let's just fucking do this. Now let's fast forward 6 years. Yeah, this guy's sitting in his garage. His wife pokes her head in. Did you hear about John taking Cheryl to Cabo? He's so romantic. He treats her so good. And he's just sitting there thinking, if I could get my hands on that fucking Fauci, I swear to God, I would fucking go to prison for the rest of my life. Oh, shit. That's the shit that goes through my head. You know, a lot of my comedy's about, you know, trying to be a man or act like you're a man, you know, shit like that. You know, we got times when we feel like, you know, we're a man's man. Guys, you know what I mean. You're fucking chopping wood or shooting guns or voting for Trump. You know, you feel like a real fucking man, right? But you also have those other times when you don't. When your wife makes you wash the dishes or fucking whatever, right? Where you don't feel like a man. And for me, just work with me here, it's ratchet straps. All right? Don't get me wrong. I understand the fucking mechanics of it. I understand how it's supposed to work. But every time I fuck with them things, it's like, what spell do I gotta whisper into Valhalla to make this fucking sorcery work? And it never fails. I'm at the river trying to put the kayaks in the truck. And there's some dude over there putting a dip in, just staring at me like, what a fucking pussy. You don't know how to do fucking ratchet straps? Who raised you, Ellen? Just staring a hole through me like I just told him what my pronouns were. And I'm just like, you know, that shit, I can fucking, my wife can say all kinds of shit to me. And I'm not saying it never bothers me, but it don't bother me as much as another grown man looking at me like that. It sucks. And there's other times where I don't give a shit if I look like a man. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go home tonight. And if I'm really tired or I'm really drunk, I'll sit down to pee. Fucking don't bother me a bit. That's how much I give a shit about that. I mean, there's times I do care, but for the most part, I just don't give a shit. Let's take one more drink. You guys are doing so good. I'm so damn proud of y'all. Just so you know, before I finish, and I've got a little bit more, but man, we lucked out with the people we got. We got John playing the music. We got an awesome headliner following me. I was really surprised they got him. You know, he's good. He's got an hour-long special on YouTube. And he's been doing this for a long time. He's going to look a lot more professional than me when he gets up here. But, yeah, I was to finish the point on, you know, being a man. You know, I'm very good at faking it. Like, I watch Joe Rogan. I can navigate through a conversation. And I can look like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I can look like a real man, but I am not. I'm a fake one. I'm here to admit it. A lot of you guys are. You won't admit it like me, but you are. And a lot of you aren't. A lot of you are real men. I know you. I know what you do for a living. You fucking build houses. You work on cars. You're the real deal. I'm not. If you were to take a table, lay it out in front of me, and you were to put, I don't know, a fucking miter saw, a seesaw, and a chainsaw on that table, I'm only going to get one of those right. Spoiler alert, it's the seesaw. Right? And I can hear you. I can hear you right now. Byers, what about, working on cars, shit like that? Yeah, I'm worse. Say you take that same table, right? And you put, I don't know, an alternator, a starter, and a tranny on that table. I'm probably only going to get one of those right, too. And that's only because my Pornhub algorithm got fucked up a couple weeks ago, and I got to change websites. Yeah, that's how much of a man I am. Plus, that's a world you don't want me in. It's a world that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm boringly straight. Because if you put me in that world, I'm just the guy sitting there on the edge of the bed going, do I blow her? Does she blow me? I bet she knows what a fucking miter saw is. All right, guys, I really appreciate y'all having me. Like I said, we got a really good comic coming. He's been doing it for a while. He told me how many years, I forget what he said, but it's a lot longer than me. So let's give it up for Mr. Foskey, and thanks for having me.